The Boston Celtics are officially on the clock. The franchise has until Thursday, February 19th to fill 2 open roster spots. This is not just a paperwork move. This is a calculated decision that could impact flexibility, depth, and financial control all the way through April 12th, the final game of the regular season. Before we go deeper, if you care about the Boston Celtics and want real analysis with urgency and clarity, hit the like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and press the hype button, because what happens over the next few days will not grab national headlines, but it absolutely matters inside Boston. Here is the financial reality. The Celtics sit $842,292 below the luxury tax limit. That number is everything. The tax is calculated based on what is actually paid out. By the end of the season, Boston is required to carry 14 players, but the league allows a team to drop below that number for no more than 14 consecutive days, and no more than 28 total days across the season. That is where the strategy begins. Expect the Boston Celtics to use every single one of those 28 days. This is not about star hunting. This is about precision. This is about staying under the tax while remaining compliant with league rules. The Celtics are effectively managing the clock, delaying signings as long as possible to protect that $842,000 cushion. From a basketball standpoint, they can afford to do it. The rotation is stable. 10 core rotation players are active. Jason Tatum is expected back in a couple of weeks. Amari Williams provides depth. Two-way player Ron Harper Jr. is available and nowhere near his 50-game limit. This is not a team desperate for minutes. This is a contender protecting flexibility. Brad Stevens has already made it clear. The Boston Celtics are not diving into the buyout market for a big name. He wants players who understand their role, players who accept that they are not walking into daily rotation minutes. That eliminates reputation signing, that narrows the focus to fit and discipline. There is one basketball need that stands out. Stevens said at least one more ball handler will be added. That is specific. That is intention. But look at the market. Options are limited. A veteran reclamation project like Lonzo Ball would raise questions about health and cost. More realistically, the Celtics dip into the G League, sign 10-day contracts at the rookie minimum, evaluate work ethic, evaluate system fit, and keep the books clean. This is not flashy. It is calculated. It is the kind of move serious contenders make when they are thinking about June, not February. And here is where it gets interesting. Boston could wait until the final day of the regular season, upgrade Ron Harper Jr. to a standard contract, make him playoff eligible, stay under the tax, and still reward internal development. That is patience with purpose. So the question is not who they sign tomorrow. The real question is how long the Boston Celtics are willing to wait to pull the trigger, and whether this quiet financial chess move becomes the subtle edge that keeps them flexible for a deeper run. Are the Celtics simply filling roster spots, or are they setting up their next competitive advantage before the playoffs even begin? The Boston Celtics are closely monitoring a possible trade scenario involving Tari Eason. This is not random speculation. This is strategic evaluation. And when the Celtics evaluate a young forward with size, defensive activity, and efficient shooting, it deserves attention. Eason is shooting 45.1% from the field and an impressive 46% from 3 on 4.8 attempts per night. That level of a perimeter efficiency at 6'8", not common. For the Boston Celtics, who prioritize versatility and defensive switchability in the frontcourt, this profile mattered. Let us focus on fit. The Celtics already have a structured rotation. They value wings who defend multiple positions, rebound aggressively, and space the floor without demanding high usage. Eason checks those boxes. He runs the floor, competes defensively, and has developed into one of the most efficient young perimeter shooters in the league this season. In a system built around spacing and ball movement, his skill set would translate immediately. Financially, Boston would need to be precise. The Celtics are navigating the tax line carefully. Any potential negotiation involving Tari Eason would require calculated matching salary and long-term planning. This is not about a flashy move. It is about sustainable roster building. Brad Stevens has consistently prioritized controllable contracts and players entering their prime year. Eason fits that timeline. Here is where the urgency increases. Houston values him. He is a restricted situation. That complicates negotiation. If Boston makes a call, it cannot be passive. It must be structured, competitive, and convincing. and the Celtics do not engage unless they believe the upside justifies the cost. The central question is not whether Eason is talented. The numbers already confirm that. The real question is whether the Boston Celtics see him as the missing frontcourt piece who can elevate their playoff ceiling without compromising financial discipline. If that belief exists internally, then discussions could accelerate quickly. So now the pressure builds. With the offseason approaching and roster decisions looming, are the Boston Celtics preparing a calculated move for Tari Eason that could quietly reshape their frontcourt rotation? Or will they hesitate and risk watching a perfect system fit strengthen someone else's contender? The Boston Celtics are monitoring the market with urgency, and 3 names are beginning to circulate internally as possible free agent discussion before playoff eligibility deadlines approach. Kelly Olynyk, Jeremy Sochan, Chris Middleton. This is not about nostalgia or headline. This is about depth, flexibility, and postseason readiness. Let us start with Kelly Olynyk. Celtics fans know him well. At 34 years old, he remains a skilled stretch big who shot 44% from 3 during the 2024 to 2025 season in Toronto and still stayed above 38% after a move to New Orleans. Boston values spacing from the front court. Olynyk can facilitate, move the ball, and create mismatches against second unit. In a playoff series, one extra shooter at the 5 can change defensive coverages instant. The question is not familiarity. The question is timing and cost. Now Jeremy Sochan, younger, versatile, physical, a wing who defends multiple positions and can handle the ball in transition. Boston has built its identity on switchability and toughness. Adding a player entering his prime years could strengthen the second unit immediately and protect against injury risk. This is a forward-looking move. It is also a calculated gamble. If Sochan reaches the open market, competition will be aggressive. Then there is Chris Middleton, experienced, proven in postseason environment. 2 seasons removed from averaging 15 points on elite shooting splits of 49% from the field, 38% from 3, and 83% from the line. For the Boston Celtics, this would not be about regular season volume. This would be about secondary shot creation in late-game playoff possession. When defenses trap the primary option, Middleton has the composure to deliver. Here is where urgency builds. The Celtics are already contenders. Any addition must enhance, not disrupt. Financial flexibility matters. Roster balance matters. But championship windows do not wait politely. If one of these veterans becomes available at the right number, Boston must decide quickly. So ask yourself this: if the Boston Celtics believe one of these 3 names can swing a playoff series in May or June, can they afford to stay conservative? Or is this the moment to act decisive and separate themselves from the rest of the conference? If you want more breaking analysis on every Boston Celtics move, like this video right now, subscribe to the channel and hit the hype button so you never miss the next urgent update.